What is up, everybody? This is Caleb with GamerFaith, and this is a different format for a video. What you're seeing here is YouVersion Bible app. If you don't have it, then shame on you. But go download it, and then no more shame on you. So I'm sorry, I don't mean to cast shame on you, but let's go here. The topic of this video is when you're feeling weak and defeated and useless and hurt and damaged and everything but strong. How do you be strong in all of that? So let's look at some Bible verses. We're going to zip right through. I encourage you guys to actually take the time to read these things in context and not just like the single verse, but we're going to be zipping through real fast to just kind of point out a few verses about strength and then get to a point here. But Philippians, and a lot of you already know where I'm going. Sam, who many of you know from this channel, knows where I'm going, his favorite verse, Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through him who strengthens me, which, can you hear my cat meowing in the background? Which that is a fantastic verse. Let's go Old Testament, OT style, for a second here to a very encouraging book that many of us are familiar with. So let's go to Psalms, and we're going to go pretty far in there to 119, verse 28. And let's see what that has to say. My soul melts away for sorrow. Strengthen me according to your word. Now, I know this feeling of my soul melting away with sorrow. And in those times, I do find myself desperate for strength. And I do find that God is the one who can give me that strength. And we're going to continue going here. And eventually, we're going to land on kind of the point that I'm getting to with this video. But first, let's make a pit stop at Ephesians 6:10. By the way, with that Philippians verse at the beginning, I highly recommend that you read all of Philippians, and there's a Bible study hangout with Becca from Faraway Distance that goes through Philippians. Please go check it out. It was a blast to make that video, and it's really cool. You can hear our thoughts on it, and Philippians is just a great book. So if you want a more extensive Bible study, that's probably about a half hour long. Go check that out. So Ephesians 6:10, finally be strong in the Lord and in the strength of his might. And this is talking about the armor of God here after that, and who our real enemies are and stuff like that, what we're fighting. So go ahead and read all that at some point. It's just a wonderful little section there. But it's talking about be strong in the Lord and in the strength of his might. So let's go to one more verse. There will be two more verses, but the main one here is 2 Corinthians, and we're going to go to 12, and we're going to be looking at 9 and 10. So, but he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly of my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ may rest upon me. For the sake of Christ, then, I am content with weaknesses, insults, hardships, persecutions, and calamities. For when I am weak, then I am strong. Now, this is incredibly encouraging to me because I find myself in a lot of situations where I absolutely can't do it. And a lot of people will say things, and there's two different contexts that you can kind of take this phrase in, but like a lot of people will say God never gives you more than you can handle, and I sort of understand what they're trying to get to with that, and they're kind of getting at like God's not going to let you be tempted more than what you can bear, I think is usually what they're getting at with that. But a lot of people also argue that God is always going to give you more than you can handle, because that is how we learn to rely on God. So if you are feeling weak, if you are being insulted, if you are facing hardships, persecutions, calamities, then those are all perfect opportunities for not you to fix your own problems, not you to show your strength, but for God to show his strength in your weaknesses. So I want to make a point to say, as some of you know, around New Year's time every year, I pick a focus word, and I try to focus on that word and grow in that word. And God has shown me some cool things through focusing on words like that. And this year's word for me was power, and strength kind of goes along with power. And it was very quick that I realized that all of my power comes from God. And it's been funny because this has been one of the years that I have felt the most weak, and I think that that's just kind of an awesome lesson that we don't have to be strong. God's strength is what gives us our power, and I think that that's really cool. And if you're facing these things, it's encouraging to know, just follow God, seek God, chase God, and He takes care of things, and His power is shown through these hardships. Let's go real quick. One more thing, not exactly related, but sort of related. If you're going through hardships right now and feeling weak, I just want to throw this out there. It is a personal favorite, and Matthew 6:33. But seek first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. Therefore, do not be anxious about tomorrow, for tomorrow will be anxious for itself. Sufficient for the day is its own trouble. So, anxiety is something that I have struggled on and off with, as I assume probably most of you. I mean, most people I've ever met have had certain things that they've had anxiety about, and this just keeps things so simple. I mean, it's so deep and so hard to do this at times, but just having the faith to trust God and putting our energy into focusing on the kingdom, which, by the way, the kingdom of God is something that is eternal, and our time here on this planet is something that is ultimately very short. So when you're investing into the kingdom of God, you're making a very smart investment, okay? If you put all of your energy into investing into this tiny brief moment that we are here on this earth, that is not a very wise investment. So seeking first the kingdom of God is not just like a good way to stay out of anxiety. It's a good way to live your life, and it's an intelligent investment for your heart to make. So that's what I have to say about this. I hope that it encourages you in some way. Go check out all these passages in further context if you want. And I love you guys. I'm praying for you. Hit me up in the comments below, please. I always love talking to you guys. You just are the best. You encourage me so much. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Oh, and I'll also throw out there that YouVersion is not a sponsor or anything like that. I love this app and use it all the time, so I wanted to share it with you. I thought it was a pretty cool way to show you guys these verses. But hope to see you around in the next video, guys.